What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be covering the most important and the most exciting match of EVO 2022 Street Fighter V Top 8. And of course, it's going to be a Daigo match. I'm talking about Daigo versus iDom at EVO Top 8 2022 for Street Fighter V. This match is probably the match that decided the tournament, besides a very important one that happened off stream, which we may cover in another video coming up. But Daigo is definitely the guy that iDom was concerned about going into this top 8. These two players are now in the loser side of top 8. Daigo is rocking his signature Guile, and iDom's been going pretty much only Laura this event. He prefers Laura on PS4 over playing Poison. So this matchup, player matchup wise and character matchup wise, was definitely the match that iDom was most concerned about. Daigo had in the past has beaten iDom pretty bad, but those sets they played were many years ago, and Guile is just a character that can kind of control Laura's offensive pressure, and Laura has a decent struggle in getting in. So this match was looked at as the big major roadblock in iDom pursuing grand finals. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the main thing you're going to see here is a lot of the zoning pressure from Guile, which is going to be difficult for Laura to get around. She does have some answers with EX Elbow and EX Command Grab. EX Elbow is very fast and armors through the fireball. EX Command Grab is fireball invincible and moves forward. But for the most part, iDom's going to opt to try to play the spacing game, inch his way in, find moments to dash and jump. And here's a big crucial part about the matchup as well that Daigo represents already. That right there. Laura's game plan becomes basically a different beast if she's able to consistently set up her fireball, aka clap pressure, right? So that move is kind of like a meterless Aegis, some people refer to it as. It does have counterplay, as you just saw, however. So if you're able to have a normal that goes low, has a low hurt box and reaches forward, like a lot of characters, sweeps can do this, and you can interrupt it, you're able to, much more effectively control the character. So at this range, Laura would like to set up the fireball because she can walk behind it and safely apply pressure with the cover of the fireball. But if you have the sweep, you can interrupt it and stop her from getting the party started. So Daigo represents that in the first round. So that's a big knowledge check right there. Daigo answered appropriately. It shows that he knows what's up. He's here to play the matchup appropriately.
I'm one of the best at using thunderclap and neutral. But Daigo, one of the best at react.
But of course, iDom still finds his way in. Reads the stop and the pressure after the fireball dashes in, sets up EX clap, lets him get a guess after. iDom is not scared of the command grab. I've never seen a player in pretty much all fighting in history land as many command grab guesses successfully as iDom. That was interesting. There's actually a reason behind this. Laura's hurt box, for some reason, just kind of disappears when she does jump heavy kick. So this is not just a fluke. He meant to do that. Mess up the anti-air timing, lets him get the jab activate there. But that was an execution error. Yeah. Mistakes were made. So he sets up the EX clap here with the dash through. It's supposed to allow him to get a free command grab. He did it too fast. He was still in block stun, so it didn't land. It would have command grabbed. However, if you try to punish him, like if you like neutral jump punish, you can't get a full punish because the clap will cover it. So oftentimes your punishes would be limited to like interrupting preemptively with an EX flash kick. If you jump back, the clap is probably going to hit you. If you jump forward, the best you can do is sweep. So it becomes a much more safe command grab situation, which is why the V trigger is so deadly. The risk reward is shifted heavily in Laura's favor when she has the clap to cover her command grab mix-ups. However, he messes it up, so it just gets a little weird, and he gets chipped for his troubles. First round to Daigo. Back to the neutral game. This is going to be a lot of how it works. Like he's just going to try to bulldog his way in. That's a pretty big option that Laura has. Her Fierce Punch goes very far forward, and she's able to cancel it into the EX clap, which allows him to get one more turn. So it's a big button to throw out to cover a lot of range. Can crush counter lead to a full combo with the EX, and on block lets him get one more guess. So good button to use in the footsies to gain an advantage in the neutral game when normally at this range you can't really do too much otherwise. Medium punch for the plus frames. That's a miss hit confirmed. This is towards Fierce. A little bit shaky there from iDom. Sweep. Daigo knows the matchup. And also you can see here this crouching Fierce usage from iDom. that is hit confirmable, right? So he's trying to use these big buttons that have a lot of range because he wants to try to see if he can clip Daigo with something. If that hits, he's going to cancel that into like the medium elbow, get the knockdown, and then he'll be able to get the pressure. So these buttons he's throwing out, notice how they're canceled into nothing on block, the crouch fierce. Notice when he lands it on hit, he will confirm that to the knockdown. So he's playing neutral with these buttons where he can confirm to a knockdown safely.
Don't let him tell you that players.
There's the same fierce to EX, but Daigo guesses correctly in the V-shift. V-shift's out, but iDom, you know, he won't be thwarted. He will have to sprinkle in the command grabs to make the offense work in his favor. But classic Guile pressure zoning, keeping lower in the corner. Party time. See, there's the dash through, makes it safe. Gets one more turn. One more turn. Nice flash kick. Daigo said none of that, none of that. This is what makes Laura's V-trigger so deadly. I mean, her speed is increased, her damage is increased, but there's EX clap. She dashes forward through it, does the safer option with the regular grab, gets the mix, moves forward, has the clap still behind him to get one more offensive situation. Just the deck is loaded in Laura's favor when she pops V-trigger like that. First game to Daigo. The game plan seems solid. And you can see that the onus is on iDom here to kind of bulldog its way in and make the offense happen, while Guile and Daigo are mostly setting the pace and controlling the flow of the neutral game. Back to character select, interesting. I wonder if he was playing with the idea of going to poison here. iDom told me after he lost to Reinhardt in pools that basically he does not want to play poison for the rest of the tournament because he does not feel comfortable playing poison on PS4 due to the increased input delay. He feels like he can't control react anti-air and control the ground game as effectively as he could on PC. So he'd rather just do Laura and go for offense and say, hey, it's up to you guys to react to me. So there is a strategy behind the character picks, even if the matchup might not be as effective on paper. Yeah, there's that range right there. He could throw clap, but it could be swept, but that's also the range where Fierce Punch can connect on Guile. But Daigo controlling that range. Low forward can also confirm. Crouching Fierce can confirm. These are all confirmable buttons, which can lead to the offense. So mostly he's choosing to do confirmable things until the V-trigger comes into play. Denied. The level 2 clap, if you try to challenge it and he releases it, he gets so much damage. There's the dash through, gets an extra turn from the clap following up. EX Fireball. Man, looking back on this is a bad spot for iDom to be in. Daigo is one round away from being up 2-0. That's actually huge. Coming back from a 2-0 deficit is almost impossible. It happens, but it is almost impossible. There it is. That's the very first instance of the Crouching Fierce actually connecting, and you can see immediately that the very first time it actually connects in neutral, what does iDom do? He confirms it into the knockdown. That is the difference maker with a lot of high-level players. They understand their confirmable options and use it effectively and confirm when they get the opportunity. This separates the good from the great. Like, you need to have these kind of hit confirm situations available in order to get the offense, because this is what gets your momentum going, especially in matchups where you're like unable to effectively keep up in neutral because your options just aren't as good. Good placement on the heavy kick. Knockdown, time to party. Regular grab. He did dash up EX? Oh, good angle. Ume flash kicks left and right. Look at the EX elbow. EX elbow from Laura is probably one of the strongest armored moves in the game, and I can't think of a better armored move because it's so fast and it goes so far. Look at that punish from how far away that was. That was a huge, like 3/4 screen punish on the fireball on reaction with EX elbow there into the knockdown. iDom, I think, getting his first round. There's the nooch. Fishing again with the crouch fierce into the knockdown. There it is. Into the reset, meaty overhead. So the idea behind this, I think the overhead is at worst -7 or -6. When it hits last frame meaty like this, it is at worst -4. If you're stand blocking as Guile, you're not gonna have down charge. You can do like jab into EX Sonic Boom. That's the best true punish you're gonna get. And if it hits, he gets a much more damaging combo, right? He can go into the medium, into the EX clap, set up another situation here. So this reset, it's a little greedy, right? But, you know, he's hedging his bets. And also, I feel like as Laura against Guile, you're going to have to be a little greedy with your offense to make these moments count. Because if you play it safe, you're just going to slowly lose. And iDom really understands that. Sets up the clap here. Daigo doesn't quick rise, so it doesn't really set up. It would have been meaty on quick rise. Daigo just decides to hang back. Offensive V reversal. Such a good tool to use. iDom only wins with V trigger, huh? I've played iDom a lot, right? This is one of the most disheartening things to deal with is when iDom has a lead on you in the corner, because he will just look for the button that you press in order to build space. So a lot of the time, your best buttons to do strings with, to build the most amount of space in the corner, a lot of the time, those are heavy buttons. And these kind of buttons are guaranteed to allow you to punish with a V reversal. So the moment iDom sees this move, he has V meter, he has a life lead, you're almost stunned in the corner, you're on the back foot. He does an offensive V reversal to keep the pressure going. After this spacing of the sphere sponge, Guile would have been at a great range to do something like EX boom, walk up upside down kick, start fighting back and build space and get momentum. He's not greedy with the V meter. He has such a life lead, he doesn't need that. Offensive V reversal, such an underrated tactic at all levels of play, I believe. This is what gave iDom this round. Stay in the corner. Do not build space. You have to take more guesses. Meaty throw. Meaty as hell stand medium kick. That move is normally -4, I believe. Normally -4, but man, with that meaty setup, it's actually plus. Crouching strong. EX clap. Why'd you try to take your turn back into the round? There you go. Back to the neutral game, 1-1. So close to being a 2-0 lead for Daigo, but it's turning around now. Big jump. You definitely got to make the reads. This is the first time I think he's jumped after the crouching fierce. So he's been doing that on block a lot and not going into anything because he's trying to confirm it. So I think he felt the bait timing on that. Mistime the pressure, gets the back throw. Blocked. Heavy kick, jab buffer. Sweep knockdown, forward walk throw. Just clean offensive Guile sequence there. And that is meterless. Textbook Guile sequence right there, keeping iDom at bay in the corner. Myers pointed this out. Look at this. So one of the things that Laura also does is she fishes with crouching medium punch either into clap, like EX clap, or into elbow. So he saw that it whiffed, and look at the spacing he's at, right? So it leaves a spacing trap where it's like, okay, you saw me whip. I know you want to try to whip punish me, but that's really fast. I'm going to gamble with pressing the fierce punch here and punishing you for trying to whiff punish me. So this is like a spacing trap done on a whiff. And normally you can do micro walk up and stand fierce and get that combo. He just slightly mistimed that. I don't know if it's possible from that exact spacing, but yeah, that's definitely something that iDom will bust out. Very common tool, like, oh, you want to whiff punish my whiff? Get punished. I'm going to punish your attempted whiff punish on my whiff. Look at this combo, though, from Daigo. If you're not aware of the charging tricks going on here, let me break this down for you. Look at the string he goes for, right? Crouching light kick, crouching jab, standing light kick, into flash kick. So the beauty of this sequence is that if you do the dash after the fierce double dash here, he has no charge. Kyle's a charge character, right? When you land the crouching light kick into jab, you do not have enough charge at that moment to go into flash kick. You just simply don't. What you have to do is then use a few extra frames that you get by not canceling the crouching jab here. Then very accurately, last second, you let go of crouching and you press light kick to get the standing light kick. But then he cancels that into an up charge move, which is flash kick. Basically, you buffer, you keep the charge buffer for a frame when you do standing light kick, and then you hit up and kick to do the flash kick. So down back, crouching jab, crouching light kick, crouching jab. Neutral for a frame when you press light kick, then up and kick. And you can try it yourself. It's a pretty precise charging technique. It's not impossible. You know, I do some stuff like that with Oro as well. He has some of these techniques, but it's just a clutch little detail to bust out in tournament because it's the only way you can get the combo and the knockdown from the situation. Like without this charge technique, he would not be able to get the damage in the Oki after. And the knockdown situation is the most important part of this, right? So if he did not master this, he would not be able to keep the offensive momentum going. And definitely something to notice, like a tiny little detail of high-level play of squeezing every advantage out of every situation right here. So, yep, flash kick gives him the pressure, gives him the corner carry. But iDom makes it look so easy, dude. Finds a spot to EX clap, and look at the angle he jumped at. So this angle would have been really hard for Daigo to flash kick. It probably would have just whiffed. The answer, if Daigo was ready for it, would have been like jump back air throw, right? But, you know, iDom is almost in the corner. He just casually sets up the situation where if you're not ready for the jump back air to air, he just gets over you, and now suddenly you're cornered, right? He makes it look easy. Offensive V reversal.
Oh, there we go. The counter hit confirmed for iDom.
Super strong. Time to gamble.
Part of those reads. What does he do next?
All right, so if you're not aware of Laura's setups here, Laura can manually time her elbow after command grab in this situation to hit meaty so that she's actually plus. Normally, the elbow is -2, but I believe it has 3 active frames, so it can go from -2 to 0 at least, right? If Laura's put at 0, she has a 3-frame jab. Guile has a 4-frame jab, so if he times this correctly, he's gonna get frame advantage. So this is not only good to get frame advantage because you're going to see iDom just jab after to keep his pressure going. It also sets up the mind game of later on, what if he does command grab, dash up, command grab? If you woke up with a button thinking that the elbow was actually a dash forward, you're going to get counter hit into a full combo. So it sets up the riskier offense for later in the set. So this is the safer option, which just locks Guile down and gets pressure. But maybe later in the set, he can condition you to do dash up, command grab again and, you know, steal some turns and be a little cheeky with the offense.
What does he do next? Goes for the meaty elbow. Hard to time, but
yep.
Got the cross again.
Look at the confirms.
One hit away.
Shimmy, classic. Look at the confirms. iDom has 2 bars to play with here, but he does not waste them, right? He presses Fierce Punch, it doesn't crush. No EX Fireball. Presses Fierce Punch, nothing. There it is. He got the crush. Confirm. He is looking for these opportunities, confirming when he gets them, saving his resources, capitalizing when he gets the moment.
Daigo blocks and gets the punish.
Big crush. He's reading a lot of these fireball and button timings from Daigo.
I swear he makes it look like Laura's standing heavy kick is a Dawson limb.
Yep, hard to avoid that activation. There's the dash through. Keeps it safe there. I'm surprised Daigo's not V reversaling, to be quite honest. Oh, good jump away. Like I mentioned before, meaty elbow will keep you locked down. He could do something like this instead, EX command grab, which will grab you on your wake up. You have to jump away. But if he did meaty elbow here and you try to jump away, he'd get a combo, right? So he was trying to establish this mix up, but Daigo, he either preemptively just selected to hold up back or reacted to the flash here. He manages to get away. What a meaty. iDom was going for the signature iDom 2-frame. Into the corner, guess for game situation. Oh, spaghetti. iDom was really mashing that 3-frame, man. iDom was really mashing that 3-frame. Both of those knockdowns he was mashing. He said, you're not going to time your meaties, but Daigo was on top of it. Look at the shot of that trophy. Almost came home. We almost had one in the USA. Daigo with the 2-1 lead. So things are not looking good. But iDom was playing really good these past 2 games. But man, Daigo clutched it out. Look at that whiff punish.
And again, iDom is America's last opportunity.
iDom was fishing with the crouching beating pick a decent amount too. So the awareness to whiff punch that with the crouching sweep from Guile is very, very good. Oh, shimmy. Oh, that one didn't work. Look at the damage you're about to see. He had flash kicked several times leading up to this. Getting an early stun with Laura is horrible. A little cheeky reset. But it was counter hit. Daigo was pressing a button. He was like, I'm just going to mash here and see what happens. Probably didn't want to risk the meter on that because he wouldn't likely come back from that round. What a whip punish. Oki time. See, once again, Daigo is going for the hedge your bets mix up here, or defensive selection here. Laura can do dash up regular grab, right? That is like the less risky option. If they neutral jump thinking you're going to command grab, you can whiff your grab and then anti-air, and then you're on a left-right mix-up. You get to mix them up right there and get more pressure. Because of that, defensively, you go, okay, if I jump back, I'm going to escape regular grab and command grab, but I'm not going to get the big punish on the command grab if I neutral jump. So once again, the jump back is the hedge your bets defensive option. If you want the big damage, you got to commit to the neutral jump, but sometimes that leaves you unable to punish, right? So Laura can get in situations where she doesn't even get punished for going for the command grab mix because you have to commit to the neutral jump defensive option, which is risky in its own right. Goes for the meaty, slightly mistimed it, so iDom waited a little bit too long, like a frame too long, so he's actually -1 after this elbow lands. Their jabs trade. That's Laura's 3-frame jab trading with Guile's 4-frame jab. They land on the exact same moment because Laura was -1. Beforehand, boom, doesn't get the offensive pressure. If iDom had timed that correctly, it would have counter hit Guile and he would have done jab counter hit to medium to EX clap and gotten a full combo knockdown. That timing is very important to master as Laura, and it's also important to recognize if it hits meaty or not to know when you can challenge as well. Backdash, setup, EX clap, big brain moment here. All right, so we already established that Daigo knows how to deal with the clap. He dashes forward, low blocks last second because you can interrupt it if you clip her, but he blocks the sweep, gets the punch, gets the knockdown. Throw time, meaty elbow. Regular -2 elbow. Daigo takes his turn back. V-trigger boom time. I'm just trying to reestablish neutral. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the most important block of the tournament. When iDom blocked this in tournament, I lost my mind. We'll let this round play out and break down exactly what happened right there. Command grab. EX command grab. Let's break this sequence down. This is one of the most important sequences of the whole tournament, which kept the run alive for iDom in top 8. So here, Daigo gets the pressure, so he sets up the V-trigger boom sequence to be able to approach behind. He gets the counter hit right here, which allows him to set up the knockdown situation. So what wake up does iDom do? Quick rise, wake up. Laura could have backrolled here and messed up the setup. So Daigo had to choose a setup predicting that he was going to quick rise to get this jump in meaty so that iDom was forced to block. Now, this situation here, many characters in the game have this option. I wasn't even aware that Guile had this option. I was not even thinking on this plane because I'm not used to seeing Guile do this. But when you're forced to block a meaty jump in, many characters can set up a high-low instant overhead or low mix-up where you can do something like a jump back jab or jump back light kick depending on the character. And because you're forced so meaty to block this, it sets up a fuzzy state situation. When you hold down back, there's actually a frame where your hurt box is still standing even if you're holding down back. Sounds weird, but that's just how it is. So that means that jump back jab will normally whiff if you just walk up and do jump back jab. But if you force someone to block a jump in, you can then force them to eat a high-low 50-50 mix-up for a tiny little jab's worth of damage. But when you only have a jab's worth of damage left, this is a 50-50 for the game suddenly, right? So he could have done jump in, crouching light kick. Normally after jump in, you always default block low in Street Fighter V because it's very rare to have situations where you have instant overheads. But this time, he does have it, and iDom somehow was ready to block this in EVO top 8 against Daigo when he was about to set himself up on match point 2-1 in the set. Blocks the instant overhead, doesn't even flinch for a second to go down, and goes for the offensive situation after. If he had timed this better, he actually could have gotten a punish on it, but it's a very tight timing. I'm actually surprised that Daigo didn't try flash kicking on the way down there. So that block itself was already ridiculous, but he still has a hill to climb to make the comeback happen here. Looking for the low forward confirm. When she's in V-trigger 1, if she confirms a low forward to elbow, you can cancel the elbow to CA. So if a low forward hits, it's a confirm to super as well, which will kill Daigo. So one low forward confirm away, one big hit away for iDom to win this. But iDom just needs, or Daigo just needs the jab. So he's fishing. What a I cannot believe. This jump is wild to me. I guess if you look at the way Daigo is walking here, you can see that he goes for a stand block there for a second. So he doesn't have down charge, but I can't believe he didn't do like medium kick or something. Like he just wasn't ready. The timing of that jump was just ridiculous. Fierce punch. So the V trigger, like we mentioned before, you can burn the V trigger to command dash out of the EX clap. This gives him a kind of safe-ish mix-up attempt. He goes for the command grab. Daigo could have easily flash kicked this or jumped away. It works out. One hit away. Now this situation is so intense, and we see him go for the EX command grab. Now that happened to just grab Daigo walking around, but the reason why this is used is the EX command grab is fireball invincible. If Daigo had thrown a boom at that timing, which is what I'm pretty sure iDom was looking for, it's looking for like a boom sequence, it would go straight through the fireball, command grab Daigo, and win the game. But it's also just really fast, so Daigo wasn't ready for it. He didn't throw the boom like iDom I think was expecting, but it worked out either way. Dashes forward, gets the command grab with the EX grab there. Sets up a 2-2 situation. Stay alive in top 8 versus Daigo the GOAT. I was very entertained at this moment. I was losing my voice at this moment. Me and Rob were losing our minds. That was a ridiculous comeback. Nice check with the upside down kick. Interrupts the startup with the clap. Counter hit conversion for the knockdown. Control. The Nooch game. Look at the reads on the jumps. He just has such a read on the timing for Daigo's fireballs. It's kind of ridiculous. Meaty elbow. Gets the pressure. So the other situation here that I haven't mentioned, you might have seen him do this a few times. The Fierce Punch, if it hits, he confirms it into the EX clap into a combo. If it's blocked, what he does is he V-skills back the backdash, because it sets him up at a more advantageous situation. The elbow up close is -2 on block. So if you just let it rock, the opponent can check you, get their turn back, you know, and start doing some offense to you. So him backdashing here makes it so that they're kind of back to neutral. In the case that it doesn't connect, it's actually a better spot for him to be in, and he's still controlling the tempo. So he even sneaks in a dash there, right? Like he's setting the pace by doing that. Looking for the Ume flash kick. This time Daigo knows that he's looking for the Ume flash kick here, and just jab V-trigger wake up to get his turn back and try to like let his stun reduce. Fierce to EX clap, sets up the mix up. This is the best mix up that iDom ever does. I was talking this whole time about how useful meaty elbow is for iDom to set up the meaty plus frames after the command grab. But what's even better is when he does it too early and messes it up. Counter hit. This situation, I've lost to iDom in this situation so many times, because what happens is you're like, oh crap, he messed up his meaty elbow. He's whipped in front of me. Let me jab him and punish him, or at least take my turn back because he missed his opportunity. And then of course the elbow just has too little recovery. You're too not ready for it, and you just get beat by iDom's 3-frame. He definitely intended to land that meaty, but he did it like a frame or so too soon, and Daigo reacted a frame or so too late, and he got checked. This has happened to everybody who's played an NLBC online a million times. It is, yeah, it's plus on whiff somehow. I don't know how iDom does it, but that has, we all know what Daigo went through in that moment. We all know what happened there.
The timing, you have to delay it by 1 frame.
Yeah, the spacing there. You see how like it disjointed on the EX clap? Boop, boop. It gave him more plus frames snuck in the dash. Once again, he almost got it one more time. He whiffed it again here. This time they managed to trade, but oh man. Jab, jab. He's done a lot of jab command grabs in these situations. That's why Daigo went for the V-shift. Crush counter clipped. So much momentum here for iDom. Daigo trying to build space here with the buttons.
Very active. Lots of resources spent though.
Yep, offensive V reversal.
I love this decision by iDom.
He's just trying to keep him caged. But Daigo's fighting out well. Oh, the V-shift whiffed? I forgot about this. Hold on, I'm just entertained here. I'm not even in analysis mode. So of course he tried to V-shift the boom to get the knockdown. Every Fierce Punch he's just V-reversaling to keep the Daigo in the corner. You can tell it's do or die time. Finds the crouching strong EX boom. So this was iDom backdashing here, trying to avoid the upside down kick or throw a mix up. You don't want to get back thrown in that situation. Oh, space clap? It begins. Oh, I don't know if he faked that on purpose or not, expecting a flash kick. Oh, shimmy. Very antsy compared to the rest of the set. Round start dash from Daigo. That's the first time we've seen that the whole set. Overhead. Like I mentioned before, with the clap behind him, it's a pretty safe bet, right? Like, at best, you can maybe get a throw punish, so it's not too much to risk to go for that. Setting up that EX clap with that spacing allows him to get offensive mix. There, it's meaty again. Conditioned! Conditioned. Daigo's finally stopped pressing buttons after the meaty elbow situation. Daigo says, if he lands it meaty, he's plus and he counter hits me. If he whiffs it, he's still plus and counter hits me somehow. Now iDom's using that conditioning to go for the command grab after that situation again. He is getting the mix going on Daigo.
Yep, caught Daigo sleeping. He knows that's plus, so he was scared to do anything.
V-shift to avoid the situation. Offensive V-reversal. Stay in the corner. Oh my goodness. One more guess for game. And of course, with one more guess for game, what does Daigo do? He flash kicks. This man always goes down swinging. EVO tournament life on the line here. Oh, that was a big one. So to explain this to people who don't understand, there is a spacing where Daigo, or Guile rather, can anti-air with sweep. I think in the moment, his spacing calculations were off, but this is a real technique. There's a range here where standing medium kick will anti-air at this range, and if they're a little bit further, you can do sweep to catch them lower, like you can walk up sweep. So he tries to walk up sweep last second. It just barely whiffs. That does work. if he had the spacing correctly. iDom lands, blocks it, gets the punish. And with that, iDom has put Daigo out of the tournament, sending him home, and continues on his legendary run through EVO top 8 with probably his hardest matchup out of the way until, of course, running into Kwano in the grand finals. And we all know how that went down. That was definitely my favorite set of the top 8. I thought it was super fun to watch, super fun to see the back and forth mind games between the players. And hopefully my breakdown taught you a little bit about the game and maybe help you appreciate that high level set even more. If you enjoyed this type of video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does support the channel and lets me know what kind of content you guys want to see. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.